Hey, hello. Welcome back. We are on day 14 now. So, continuing with the tower defense game, taking a look at some just very basic mechanics at this point. Starting to be going back to more intentional thinking about different things that I can look to actually get implemented into games. Yesterday, started looking into resources, and that was freaking exciting. So today I did ask my good old AI friend. I said, "Hey, just tell me a bunch of concepts, a bunch of things that I can try out between now and the 30th, and let's see what we can actually get going." And I'm gonna do a little massaging on it throughout the next few days because it's having me try things out like signals, which I've already used signals. Trying out well, today it was enums, and I've done enums plenty of times in the past. But there's something that I haven't really done, and that's starting to create new scenes to actually test out different things. So, along with enums, decided to add in a little bit of decision making when it comes to how the tower is actually attacking. So I'm going to demo that off for you just a little bit. Again, this is a small thing. I'm still continuing to do some cleanup. Also found some a really cool plugin. The name of the, or excuse me, add-on. It's called Script Splitter. I was really getting annoyed of not being able to actually work on multiple things at once. Scripts within Godot, and so I just decided to look it up and see how I can make that work. And well, here we are. So, anyways, uh, as part of the tower controller, this is a bit messy, and that's okay. And I'm gonna go ahead and extract this out, probably to multiple classes, depending on how things progress. I'm content with this because it is just a bunch of one-liners. I was able to put the custom sorts in here, but maybe I can move the sorting out into something else because depending on the types of code changes and the expansion of this, it might get a little unwieldy. But you're probably asking yourself, what the heck is this? So for today, decided to add something onto the tower. We're adding a target rule. So something really cool with this, and to kind of extend on the resource a little bit, added in some enums. Added in an enum. So let's go take a look at that real quick, and I can explain it a bit more. So inside of TowerStats, added target rule. So if you take a look at the target rules, I'm not crazy about the names, but I'm not concerned about that as much as I am the positioning because I could change them and it'll work out. If you're not familiar with enums, enum is effectively numbers behind the scenes. So least path progress is going to be 0, most path progress will be 1, but you're able to provide a a human readable value to it and something you can reference. Now, you can actually set what these values are, and I could do 10, I can do 20, I can do whatever I want. I probably do, but the idea is that there is some sort of value that's on here. So if you store it to a database, if you store it in a save file, it's not going to store least path progress or most path progress. It's going to store 0. It's going to store 1. So from a cost savings perspective, it's not a big deal. It's really small. But when you start adding these things up in the corporate world, data used to be really expensive, and well, this effectively goes back into how we used to use zeros and ones for a lot of things. And then in the front end, you put comments to say what is a 0, what is a 1, or variables that have a value to it, constants that have a value to it, and push it forward. So I'm going to go ahead and leave these at the default value 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 because I'm not saving it. I'm not reading that value, so I don't care. The idea is when the game runs, it's consistent, and that's what this is doing. This is a consistent behavior. When I choose least path progress and it puts 0 in there, anywhere else that I want to use least path progress, it's going to be the same. So just anticipate that if you see this here and it's looking at that same field, this target rule, if it's a 0, it's least path progress unless otherwise defined. In here, don't care. So let's move forward a little bit. So I was interested in testing these out, and I kept running my scene, and things just looked a little weird, and it wasn't working super well. So I wanted to validate what it was doing. Now, if you don't remember, in previous videos, I was explaining a little bit about what I was actually doing for my targeting. And the targeting previously was whoever made it further on the path. So the second one on there, most path progress. So that's what we're using right now on, and let me go ahead and pull up the tower, on basic tower, most path progress. Cool. So what else? So fast tower is highest health. Anyways, I'm playing around with this. So why do I want to create a scene? Because I can beat it up and I can test these things in isolation. Yeah, I love it. I can slap a tower down because I can throw different resources on there. I can test out whatever I want. So I also did create something a little interesting too, enemy godly with 5,000 health. But again, I just want something to beat up. I'll probably do like enemy dummy or something. I don't know. But anyways, here, let's give it a different face. It really doesn't matter, but I want to be able to differentiate them. This is for me. This is for me. So let's go down here. Let's go to caveman, and I have the face set on the caveman. There we go. Cool. That enemy looks like a face I'd want to beat up. All right. So within Godot, now if I go ahead and hit the play button, it's just going to play the game. So why is that? If I go into project and I go to general and I go to config, and I go to run, there's a little configuration piece right here that says main scene. So the main scene is what it's going to land on, and that's going to be typically your main menu. So something that's going to tell you to start game, to quit, to go to options, probably what you're going to end up back in a full game loop when you're done. So go back. When you actually build your game and you upload it, you're going to have some splash screens before this main scene. But this is going to be where your players are going to land. Now, for me, it's main, but I want to test this scene. So I have a couple options. One, I believe I can come down here and I can just click on this and run. But it's not as easy as that. And I'm going to be honest, I didn't test that out, but that's cool. I just learned something. You can't right click and run that. But what you can do is you can go to 2D, you can go to script, you have your scene open, you can right click and you can say play this scene. And when I learned about that, I was freaking excited. So let me show you what we're going to do to actually test using this. So play this scene. I'm going to throw it down at the bottom left. You see right now I have 2 enemies. They are, let's go ahead and do this. I'm going to move this guy up some. And what are these enemies? So these enemies are enemy godly. So they have 5,000 health. They have the sprite texture. I also did throw something on here for movement enabled. So I'm just going to throw it on as something like they're frozen in time or something. I don't really care. I went ahead and threw that on there, and then in the logic, instead of checking the path to progress, I'm stopping them. So this is a good way that I can set up some scenes so I can test some stuff out as we go. I think that this is completely acceptable, and because I'm defaulting to true, so if I was to go to any other enemies that are in here, so I can go to the grunt. Where is it? If I was to go to, yeah, it'd be the grunt. Oh, okay. Yeah, I apologize. It's not actually on this. It is on the enemy itself. So let's go into the main. I don't have any enemies on here, but when they generate, here we go. Movement enabled, true. There you go. So test tower targeting, we're running, and the golden raccoon is not shooting. Why is it not shooting? Well, let's go take a look at this. So let's go into 2D. Let's go in here. And intentionally, I moved them out of the range. But what happens when I move them into range? So he's in range and he's getting shot at. That's cool. So let's figure out what we're doing with our tower. So right now, we're saying whoever has the highest health is going to get shot. This guy's getting shot quite a bit. Let's go ahead and throw this other enemy in front of him. All right. And then let's go to lowest health. So this is a perfect way of testing to see how things are working. So we can just modify it within, right within the Godot interface and do that. The next thing that I want to do is go ahead and do the closest to the tower, which happens to be that guy, and the furthest from the tower. So I was able to really quickly validate the enums, this target rule, without actually having to constantly stand up and shut down the IDE. I'm able to prove everything out that I want. I'm able to modify things. I can move this guy. Whoa, wrong one. I can move the tower out. I'll figure that one out. So there are a number of things that you can do without having to really go too far. Now, I haven't actually exposed the current health. I set a function on current health, and I did that intentionally because I didn't want to be able to modify it this way. I don't want anybody reaching in and changing the health when they shouldn't. It's not theirs. It's the enemy's. So I can't change it manually. But there's probably a way that I know how to do it. Here we go. You know what? I'm not going to worry about that right now. I'm not going to stumble on that or stumble around with that. I'm happy with what I have. Anyways, tomorrow the goal is going to be, let me grab this. The goal for tomorrow is to get into enemy states. So it's talking about lightweight state machines and an animation player. I haven't done anything with state machines before. And I just did a quick search. Cool. The other thing, animation player, I'm going to have to see if there are some 2D animations that come with some of these. That'd be pretty cool if there was, but if not, that's all right too. Then getting into waves and timers. I'm really excited about getting into waves. I told you guys yesterday that day 14 was going to have waves. I'm just pushing it off a little bit. I'm not concerned. I think there's some other fun stuff that we can do. Let's see. Game states, pause system, enemy states. I mean, well, you guys can see there's quite a few things that I can start getting into, but the idea is getting into the focuses. Into the focus. And so here we go. So, yeah. And I'm going to have to read through the rest of this other stuff, and I'm going to have it expand on some stuff. But hey, here we are. So day 14, we have completed 2 weeks. You guys have gone with me. I'm really freaking excited about the progress. We're on game 3. In game 3, I'm going to stretch this out as far as I can and see what we can do. Things are going to get a little hairy, and that's okay. Some days may be frustrating, Some days I may just run out of time. Well, like today, it's almost midnight. Run out of daylight at 5:30, whatever. But anyways, we're gonna get through the 60 days. It's going to be great. So I appreciate all of you. Thank you very much, and I hope you enjoy your evening.